Hi, my name is Jarrett Davis and I was ranked as the second best performing Forex trader in the world by the Barclays Currency Traders Index over a 6-year period between 2008 and 2013. I trade my own account professionally, but I'm also a fund manager. In fact, I'm one of the only regulated fund managers to share their trading techniques with retail traders. The purpose of that training is to help you understand the reasons why the markets move, so that you can take advantage of these moves and make consistent profits just like the professionals do. Now, the previous two videos, we looked at the mistakes that retail traders make. Okay, there's 3 core mistakes that they make. Maybe you've been making the same mistakes, or maybe you've made those mistakes in the past. And we've looked at the reasons, those are the reasons why all retail traders that fail do so. Okay. The second video, we looked at a simple process which you can completely change your whole way of thinking. Okay, so instead of focusing over there, we could switch our focus to something completely different. So we're moving away from the old mistakes, the switching from different strategies, technical analysis and over-dependence on that, poor risk management, and we're now switching over to a fundamental analysis of the markets. And we looked at how simple that is and how it's just a few steps and you can completely change your view of trading and to become more consistently profitable. Now, in that video, I also gave you the tools that I personally use when analysing the market. So up to this point, you've got a very good framework for changing your process and taking those first few steps to becoming consistently profitable. Now, the reason that so many people are interested in Forex trading and the reason that you're watching this now, it's important to understand and kind of remind ourselves why we do this, why are we all here, why do we enjoy Forex trading so much? Well, again, we've already mentioned this a few times, but it's such, the reason I enjoy Forex trading is because it's such a flexible thing, okay? You can get your passive income, you can get total freedom, okay? But the best thing is that it has unlimited potential. So it's not just about making a load of money. If you want to get rich, you can do that through trading, you can make a lot of money, but maybe you don't want that. Maybe you just want to spend more time at home, less time at work. Again, trading can open that door. Maybe you just want to travel more. Again, trading can open the door to any one of those pathways because it's so versatile and the potentials are basically limitless. Okay, it's not just one thing. It offers something for everybody. So whatever your ambitions are, it's definitely worth pursuing, particularly now you've got the framework and the guidelines to become consistently profitable. Now, in this presentation, what we're going to look at is we're going to, as promised, we're going to look at the steps you need to take before each trade. So we know what not to do, we know what to focus on in the fundamentals, and we know now, after the previous presentation, we know how those fundamentals operate. Okay, we know what we're looking for, we know we need to focus on the central bank and the indicators and tools that they use, and of the tools to figure that out so that we can find out how it's going to impact the market. Okay, so the final step really is each item, each step really, what you need to take before placing a trade. Okay, so you get to the point where you're ready to go. Maybe you've selected your currencies. You know roughly what you want to trade, but you're not quite ready to pull the trigger. So we're going to go through that right now, so that you'll then have a complete plan. So let's go to the board here, and we'll go over the first one. The first kind of we'll call them steps, but you could call them rules or whatever. The first thing you need to do, after analysing, doing your analysis, using the tools we've provided and figuring out which currencies you want to trade, you need to find out the cause of the move. And what that means is if you look at the currency pair, okay, and the price has moved, maybe it's gone up, maybe it's gone down, maybe it's gone against the direction you were thinking about trading, maybe it's gone in the direction you were thinking about trading. Don't worry. First of all, you need to figure out the cause of the move. So you need to just check why that thing is moving. Okay, using the tools we already gave you, okay, the news feeds that we looked at in the previous video. Once you've gauged the cause, that will let you basically understand whether or not it's something to worry about or not. Okay, so cause of the move is the first step. Let's go to the next one here. And you can see this one here is fundamentals. Okay, so we're now familiar with that. Basically, we want to know what the fundamental picture on that currency pair is, or that particular currency that we're trading. And again, we use the tools that we've already looked at, and we figure out what the central bank is focusing on. Okay, so those fundamentals that the central bank's looking at, that's what we want to be looking at. And what does that tell us? Should that currency be going up, or should it be going down? Once we've got that information, which way it should be going, then we know which way we need to be trading it at any given time. Okay? So that's step 2. Let's look at the third one. Okay, this is an interesting one. It's some people will be maybe confused by this, but fair price, fair value. Okay, what does that mean? It basically means what is the fair price for that currency given the cause of the move and the current fundamentals. So, for example, if a central bank has just started increasing interest rates, we know the value of that currency should go up. So basically, from the point where they started increasing interest rates, or maybe even the point where that speculation started, where we could start trading that, the price will have, of course, gone up. Now, what we need to do is just check that period, it's very simple, and see where the price got to in that cycle. So if the price went up to here, let's just say, for example, 130. It got to 130. It went up from 100 to 130, and then came back down again, and now it's trading in the 120s. We know that as long as nothing fundamentally changes, as long as they don't stop increasing interest rates, or something else happens fundamentally, as long as the central bank is still focused on that same thing, the fair price for that currency pair is 130. Okay, because it got there when these things were implemented. Nothing has changed, so just because the market sold it off, the fair price is there. So we know we can expect, we've got a very fair expectation that the price will eventually, over the next maybe week, day, month, whatever, however long it takes, the price will eventually get back to that level, okay? Because that's the fair value. And, if you think of any market, you think of a car. If a car's for sale, a brand new car is for sale for $10,000 or $20,000, if all of a sudden the price has dropped by half and nothing else has changed, you would think that's a very good deal. You'd be very confident of buying that and getting a good deal because the asset is still there, it's still a tangible thing, nothing has changed, just the price. Okay, and you know that previously those things were selling for that price, so it's a good chance you've got a good deal if you can buy it so low. Currencies are exactly the same. You can apply that analogy to houses. We'll use a really, really extreme example. If the average house price is 100,000 and all of a sudden house prices drop to $1. Okay, what would you do? Would you panic and sell your house for $1, or would you go around buying up everyone's houses as quickly as you could? Okay, you'd be going around buying houses because as long as nothing changed, as long as there's no world war or anything like that, that is a ridiculously cheap deal. It's the principle I'm looking at. It's an extreme example, but it's the principle. Okay, so we want to look at we want to work out the fair price, and that's a very simple process. Now let's go to the next one here. From that fair price, we want to gauge a good entry price. So basically, using the example that we looked at between 100 and 130, anywhere between 100 and 130 is a good entry price, okay? Now, of course, if the price eventually is going to go back down to 110 before returning to 130, we want to get in at 110 because that's the best possible price. But if we get in at 120, we have to suffer a little bit of drawdown while the price continues its retracement, but ultimately we're going to make a profit when it eventually gets back to 130. Again, a very simplified example, but it's a simple way to gauge an entry price. So basically all we need to do to get the good entry price is get the best possible price in between that starting point, the starting price and the fair value price. That's all we're trying to do, okay? So once you've worked each one of these out, one thing leads to the other. So again, you can see it's a very, very simple process. So before you take any trade, these 4 things are what you need to do, what you need to be kind of internalising and thinking about, really, before you actually pull the trigger. Okay, and as you can see, they're very, very simple. This one here, the fundamentals would have seemed complicated maybe, but now we've kind of gone over that. You know exactly what we're looking for. Even that's very simple. Now, there's a final point I want to go over here. We've got those 4 steps, but let's just look at this final point, because it is something that we do need to discuss very briefly. Okay, now, it's something called sentiment. What does sentiment mean? What is that? Sentiment, just very briefly, is think of it like the mood of the market, okay? So you think the market's made up of people, all those people are trading, all those people have different personalities. Sometimes they're in a good mood, sometimes they're in a bad mood. The market is just, think of the market like an aggregated person. So all those personalities come together to create one kind of really complicated personality, okay? Sentiment is its mood. What is the mood of the market? What that means is, very often, if the fundamentals say the currency should go up, very often the currency will go down. Okay, why is that? Because maybe the market sentiment is that way inclined. So there's a whole host of reasons. We'll just go over a couple of examples. So the price goes up, it should be going up, everyone's buying it. It gets to a point, and then people start thinking, you know what, this price has gone up quite a lot. It's all-time high price. It seems quite expensive now. I don't want to get in. I'm not going to buy it there. And the people that are already in it are thinking the same thing. They're thinking, well, we've been in it quite a long time. It's gone up quite a lot. It's a good price. I'm going to take my profits, so I'm going to play it safe and pull my money out. So all of a sudden, the sentiment or the mood of the market completely changes, and that price then falls instead of going up. Okay? Don't let that catch you out. That's just the mood of the market. So we do need to consider that as well. Okay? And the simple way you can work out whether the move is just a sentiment move or a fundamental move, again, is by knowing what the fundamental situation is. We know that the currency price should be going up, so if it's going down and nothing fundamental has changed, we simply know it's sentiment. We simply know that the mood of the market has changed. The other thing to bear in mind about sentiment is it's temporary. It never lasts forever. It could last for a day, it could last for an hour, it could even last for a few months. But ultimately, sentiment is temporary and basically gives us a better price at which to enter the market. So when we know these things, we want to take advantage of this. We don't want to fear this. We want to take advantage of it. And this basically gives us just a kind of a grasp, really, of that exists and that it's a concept we need to be aware of. Okay? So there you go. You can see 5 steps here to placing it before you place a trade. Okay? So let's recap. We know what mistakes we need to avoid. We know the changes we need to make. We need to focus on the fundamentals, and now we know the steps you need to take before you take a trade in order to be consistently profitable. Okay, so thank you for watching. Obviously the watch list, the free currency watch list that I promised before, is underneath this video. You can download that, and basically what that does is I do all the work for you. So I analyse all the currency pairs, all the currencies, so you know which is the strong currency, which currencies you should be buying, which currency you should be selling. And also, I've gone into all the reasons why, the fundamental reasons, the sentiment reasons. So you don't even have to go away and use the tools that I've given you. You can just look and use that watch list for over the next few weeks or months, as long as those fundamentals remain in play. Okay? So the purpose of these presentations has been, if you like it, you've now got a framework to take away and use in the market and make a consistent profit. Okay? You can go away and do that. However, it's not quite as simple as watching a couple of videos and going off and, becoming the best trader you can be. There are many more things that you need to master in order to cement that road to success, okay? This framework will work, okay? This will give you what you need. You will be able to go and make profits with this, and you will be able to read the market in a much clearer, much better way, giving you much more confidence, which will lead to consistency. Okay? But there are many other things. Each one of these things can be gone into in so much more detail, and there's so many other little things, all the little pieces you need to put together in order to really master the art of successful trading. And in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all those extra things you need to be focusing on in order to really cement that success. Okay? So not only have you got this, but in the next video we're going to go over everything you need. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to be learning, and explain why you need to be learning them, and why you need to be applying them, and how it's going to help you get to becoming the best trader that you can be. Okay? So thanks for watching. Again, please comment. The comments have been great. We've really enjoyed reading the comments that you've left so far. Please leave some further comments below this video. And again, as ever, I'll read every one, and I'll answer any questions that you have. Thank you.